you know, it been playing back in my head every day.
He was at work for the City of Houston Solid Waste when Richardson says he got a call from an employee.
He said he thought he seen a body or a mannequin, so he wasn't for sure. He wasn't gonna stop because he was kind of, you know, that he was scared or whatever.
Please remember to be kind to everybody everywhere in your everyday life, in your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. Good morning, my lovelies, my beauties, my friends. My name is Christina and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you will subscribe, stick around, take a chance on hearing some things that I have to say. And if you are a returning subscriber, y'all already know. Y'all are my babies. So good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I hope you all are having an amazing day. So today's video is going to be a troublesome one in my personal opinion. This is a fresh case, okay? This is under investigation right now. This is going to be the story of Alexis Sharkey, a young 26-year-old IG content creator, IG model, IG personality, whatever you guys prefer to call her, who went missing on Black Friday and then was later found deceased on the side of the road, nude. And it is a mystery right now what ended up happening to her. Before we get into this, though, I do want to say again, today's video is going to be talking about the story that we know of so far, all of it being alleged because I was not there. And we're going to talk about some theories. Please do not send hate to anybody that I speak about in this video or anybody anywhere, okay? This is pure speculation. Again, this case is under investigation. And we are going to hopefully find out what happened to Alexis when justice is brought to her. And real quick before we get into it, you guys, make sure you have your notification bells on. I don't know if it's because a lot of people are doing Vlogmas or what, but YouTube is being very slow with approving my videos, so they're not going up at the normal time that I typically put them up. I put them up around 9-ish, 10-ish Central Time on Mondays and Fridays, and sometimes Wednesdays when I can get a third one out, but it's been all over the place lately, so have on your bells so you guys don't miss. Okay, let's start at the beginning. Alexis Sharkey was a 26-year-old, young, beautiful, fun-loving, outgoing, super positive, life of the party type chick. Alexis is from Pennsylvania, where her family is. She has her mother there, her father there, and 2 younger sisters. Alexis was known as the smart girl. As a matter of fact, she spent 6 years in college at the University of Pittsburgh, where she got her biology degree. She graduated summa cum laude, which means she had some amazing grades. As a matter of fact, she also said in one of her Instagram posts that she was in the top 2% of her class for her GPA average for 3 of those years. So, I mean, homegirl, she worked hard, okay? She was very, very, very smart. She was not just another pretty face. She was the total package. She was a cheerleader. She ran track. She had lots and lots and lots of friends. She was a family girl. And after college, she had plans to go into medical school. Now, after college, she took a little bit of a different path. She decided she was going to take a year off, kind of have fun. I mean, she had been in school her whole entire life at that point, right? From grade school all the way to 6 years of college. So she decided she was going to take a year off and just kind of have some fun. And then she would go into medical school. She ended up moving to Odessa, Texas. Now, Texas, y'all know I got a bone to pick with y'all. Y'all been just going off lately in Texas. I'm going to need Texas to calm down, sit down, have a seat in the back, and just, take a chill pill, Texas. Like we need to catch our breath here, okay? But she started living in Odessa, Texas, and she was working at Twin Peaks. Y'all know Twin Peaks, good old Twin Peaks. Matter of fact, I know a lot of people that's worked at Twin Peaks, but that's a whole nother story, okay? You guys know where they wear the little short shorts and the little top, but nevertheless, like she was at Twin Peaks. She had a lot of friends there. She made good money. She was having fun. Now, it was said that she had always wanted to move to the South because it's warmer down here in the South. There's longer summers. There's shorter winters. There's a lot more. She loved to go boating. I mean, she loved to travel regardless, but these are the things that she wanted to do long term. She wanted to live in a place where it was a warmer, more tropical climate, where she could go boating all the time and just enjoy life in that way. Now, while working at Twin Peaks, one of her coworkers, who was also her friend, introduced her to this man named Tom. Now, this was Tom Sharkey, as a matter of fact. Now, Tom is much older than her. I think there's like a 23-year difference between them, which, you know, nevertheless, if you're both consenting adults, whatever, you know what I mean? But I do need to note that he was in his upper 40s and she was in her lower 20s at this time. But they hit it off and they started dating. They started traveling together. Tom allegedly works a job where he travels internationally. He goes in and out of the country to do different things. Like, I don't know all the details of that. It's really not quite clear what all he does for work, but he does a lot of traveling, and they clicked and they hit it off and they fell in love. Now, in 2018, Alexis started working for a company called Monat. Now, Monat is an MLM, but it's like some sort of like hair care company or something like that, all natural hair care products, which was supposedly perfect for Alexis. I mean, Alexis studied biology. That's what she wanted to do. She was all into like researching natural remedies and organic products and organic makeup and skincare and hair care. And I mean, like, let's just be serious here. She had beautiful hair to begin with. So I'm sure this job just took off for her, and which it did. She made a lot of friends at Monat. I mean, they were hanging out all the time. Now she has her new boyfriend, Tom, or much, much older boyfriend, Tom, who she's like traveling with. He's got all these life experiences. His children are grown, and they're just like living their best life at this point. Now, it was said that even though Alexis was planning on going into medical school, she took a different path when she got with Monat. Now, when she started working for Monat, she was able to travel and work at the same time. She didn't feel like held down anymore, held back from like school or a job like Twin Peaks. And she was able to work and travel, and she started building up her social media in this way. And that was very helpful for her job and her friendships and her travel vlogs and all of that. She even started a little YouTube channel where she was documenting her travel. Her and Tom went like on this 25-day trip, and they documented the whole thing. It was super duper cute. She has like this beautiful, one of those cats that looks like a cheetah, you know, that she took with them. It just looked like the best time ever. Now, after Alexis and Tom had been together for a couple years, in June of 2019, they got engaged. He proposed to her. She had the ring. She posted her little picture on Instagram. She told her family. She was super excited. They were going to get married. 6 months later, in December of 2019, they got married, and they got married in a courthouse, which I do find a little bit strange, especially because Alexis is such a Instagram person. I mean, all of her pictures on Instagram are very Instagram worthy, the perfect lighting, the perfect setting. I mean, she documented everything, yet in 6 months they were married in a courthouse, which to me just seemed a little out of character for her for whatever reason. She definitely strikes me as the type of person that if she was going to get married, she wanted to have the princess wedding and probably like do the photo shoot and have as many friends as she had. I just cannot imagine her not like having a full out bachelorette party and like a bridesmaid, you know, spiel. Like, she just strikes me as that type of person. So the fact that they went in December and got married in a courthouse makes me wonder why. I mean, that's never anybody's dream. People get married in courthouses all the time, and it's just as important and special as people that get married and have big weddings. I mean, my sister-in-law, she did the same thing. She got married in a courthouse. However, Alexis's personality just did not seem like that type of person to just boom, rush into it, get married. Like, what is the point? They didn't have kids. There was no, I don't know. But nevertheless, in December, they went to the courthouse and they got married last year in 2019. Now, in January of 2020, the two of them, Tom and Alexis, moved to Houston, Texas, the beautiful big Houston, Texas. And although Alexis had a large group of friends from Monat and different girls that they worked together and stuff, and they would go on these brand trips, and I mean, she was doing the whole entire spiel with Monat. I mean, she even took a trip last year where she posted a picture, a $10,000, check with this company Monat, where she was making then she alleged on Instagram she was making $10,000 a month with Monat, which is another question that I have, because if you're making $10,000 a month with an MLM, how much are you selling? Because, baby, I think you only get like what, 25, maybe 50 you don't get a ton. And I guess she was recruiting a lot of other young ladies. And so she was doing really well with this company. But she had to been making Monat a buttload of money for her to be bringing home $10,000 a month. Because y'all know how it is. I mean, I love me a good Scentsy product, but nevertheless, you guys know what I mean. Anyways, so let's keep going here. So she moved to Houston, Texas in 2020. She had a large group of Monat friends, but they were in different places. And so she wanted to find friends there in Houston, Texas. Now, Alexis was a girl's girl. I love it. I love it so much. And she went on this app called Bumblebee BFF. Have y'all ever heard of that? I have never heard of that before. Anyways, it's supposedly an app where you go on there to meet BFFs. So she went on there and she met a girl named Tanya or Tanya. We're going to call her Tanya, but it's spelled with an A. She met a girl named Tanya. Now, when she started talking to Tanya, Tanya invited Alexis out to dinner. Tanya has said that night that she met Alexis, she had actually like got a larger group of friends together. So she was bringing all these girls together. They just like clicked immediately at dinner. They were a girls like little clique, and they became friends. They started hanging out all the time and became really, really close. So almost immediately, I think that Tanya said within 2 weeks of Alexis moving there is when they met. Alexis was on to making new friends. Like, that's the type of chick she was. Very outgoing, very lovable, likable, friendly type of girl. Now, Alexis spent most of 2019 traveling and enjoying her life. She has spent most of 2020 traveling and enjoying her life. Now, she had tons of posts on her Instagram. I mean, she makes my Instagram look like you got it out of the Cracker Jack box, which we all know you basically did. But in July of this year, she posted a picture, and I found I don't know what it was about this that kind of stood out to me, but on July 30th, she posts this picture right here, and in the caption, she says something to the effect of like, "My husband said that the shadow above my lip looks like a Hitler mustache." And she posts in there, "It's a good thing that I'm secure." She kind of makes a joke out of it. But I don't know why that stood out to me. I think maybe because, like, who would think that? And, like, who would have thought that who even looks at this picture and even sees a shadow at all on your upper lip? Like, I don't. And I look at pictures pretty intensely. But it just kind of struck me as, like, how intensely does this husband look at her pictures in order to even make that joke? So, but I don't know. You know, maybe it was just a funny little joke between them, but it did strike me as weird. But then later in October, she was posting these pictures of them two together, which was super cute, like the Vikings vibe. I mean, she had it going on. Go on, sister. Like, now this is when things start kind of taking a bit of a turn from the Instagram-worthy pictures to possibly reality. In the beginning of November, she went on a little trip, and she was with one of her friends named Lauren. Now, Lauren has since come out and said that during that trip, Alexis confided in her and broke down to her and said, "I'm going to be honest, she confided in me about how worried she was for her safety when we went to Marfa, Texas, almost a month ago. We were sitting down at dinner and she lost it. We walked back to our hotel room and she confided in me that night." Now, the rumors are, and different things that I have seen and read, is that allegedly what she confided in her friend was that her husband was being physical with her and not in the good way. A lot of like DV was going on between them, and allegedly Alexis told her friend that he would choke her, and there was multiple times that she woke up on her bathroom floor after being passed out. And that is horrible and devastating to think about, but it's alleged right now, but that is what she supposedly told her friends. Now, it has come out that like the media and stuff has asked her mother, and her mother said she had no clue. She never heard anything from her daughter that there was anything physical or any kind of disagreements or fights or anything's going on between Alexis and Tom, her husband. But any of us that have been married knows that we don't typically invite our family into every little argument that we have with our spouses, because it just complicates things on a family level, right? But nevertheless, her friends were concerned, and over time, she continued to open up more, and she started telling her friends that she was going to actually divorce her husband, Tom, and she was going to leave him. Now, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving of just this year, 2020, she spoke with her mother. Now, her mother, Stacy, oh my gosh, if you see this, which I hope you're not watching videos of this. She seems like the sweetest soul, sweetest mom. You ever just watch somebody speak online and you just feel like, man, they really have a genuine, kind heart and soul? That's how I feel about Alexis's mom, Stacy. Like, she just seems like the most loving, kind mother or person. She said that she spoke with her daughter, Alexis, on Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and that they were making plans for Alexis to come there for Christmas. She had not seen her oldest daughter, Alexis, since the previous Christmas before. Now, she was saying COVID had a lot to do with it. Now, maybe that's on Stacy's end, because we all know that Alexis was not concerned with COVID, honey. She was going in and out the country. She was just living the dream. But she hadn't seen her family since then, and she was planning on coming to see them this month for Christmas. The only thing that they had not decided on was her plane ticket and when exactly she was going to fly out. But she had plans on going home. Now, Stacy has not said whether she was talking about bringing her husband home with her or not, but we do know that Alexis was planning on going to see her mom. Now, on Thursday, which was Thanksgiving of this year, she went and spent Thanksgiving with her friend Tanya. And this is the last known picture of Alexis alive. Now, she spent Thanksgiving with her friend. She ended up going home that night. They were texting. They were texting the next day, which was Black Friday. And she was talking to her friends that lived there in her town. And she was supposed to go back to Tanya's house on Saturday. I guess Tanya had her family in town and they were going to be leaving. And Alexis was going to go to her friend Tanya's house Saturday. They were going to do movies and a girls' day and all of this stuff. But when Tanya went to text her Saturday morning, she did not hear from her. And that's when things started to get a little crazy and people started to get concerned. When Tanya went to go text her Saturday morning and she didn't get a response, she immediately became concerned. Now, we don't know exactly why. The only reason why Tanya's saying that she became concerned now was because she was a big social media person. She always had her phone in her hand. She was always posting on Instagram and everything was radio silent. So Tanya drove to her apartment that she shares with her and Tom, and she knocked on the door. She couldn't get anybody to answer. Nobody came to the door. Tanya says she sat out in her car for a long time, texting people, trying to figure out where she was, just being really worried about her friend. It was not like Alexis to not respond to anybody, and she didn't hear from anybody. Now, according to Tom, he said that she left Friday night to go out somewhere. He has not said, or he doesn't know. He has not said where she went, okay? He said she hopped the fence and got into a vehicle. Now, he has said it was a black vehicle and a white vehicle alleged. I don't know all the details. All those will come out later. But nevertheless, he said she hopped the fence, got into a vehicle, and then he hadn't heard from her. At 11 o'clock or 11-ish o'clock, Tom sends a text message to one of Alexis's friend's boyfriend. Tom, which is her husband, texted my boyfriend. 11 p.m. is when my boyfriend John called Tom and said, "What's going on?" And he said, "Me and Lex got into an argument and she left. I don't know where she went. Can you just please let me know if you know anything?" So at this point, Tom is saying that they got into a fight, she left, and he didn't know where she was. While all of this is going on, at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning, a public works employee was driving down the road off of I-10 on Red Hall Lane, I believe is the name of the street, and he's driving and he sees what he thinks are feet sticking out from the bush by the road. He gets freaked out. He calls the supervisor. He says, "Listen, I don't know if this is a mannequin or if this is a dead body, but can you please get over here?" Like, he was completely just shaken up, destroyed, freaked out. Supervisor hurries over, checks out the scene, and it is a young woman in her early 20s, completely nude, laying there right off of the side of the road, deceased. They call 911, the cops come, they get the body. There is no visible signs of injury to this body. So they take the body, in. So this still being Saturday, she is missing. Tom gets a hold of Stacy, which is Alexis's mom, and says, hey, have you heard from Stacy? I have not heard from her. She left yesterday, She's not answering her phone, whatever. And Stacy makes this Facebook post right here, which is Saturday night, saying, hey, I can't find my daughter. Does anybody know of her? It's shared. People are looking for her. Tanya actually contacts Stacy as well. So obviously Tanya and Tom are not communicating at all, according to them, but they're contacting her mom at different times, which I think is really weird. Okay. If that's her best friend and her husband, why hadn't they communicated at all? But they're both looking for her. They're both even going to the point that they're contacting her mother. We'll get there. Anyways, so on Sunday, however Tom gets this way, I don't know. It should come out later, hopefully. Tom goes down to the morgue or the coroner's office or whatever you call it, and he identifies the body of the woman that was found. And yes, it was his wife, Alexis, that was on the side of the road in the nude, thrown right off of the street, feet hanging out to where you could see them. I mean, that close from the street. He contacts her mother, lets her know. She makes this Facebook post right here. And now there's a full investigation going. Okay, so everybody's trying to figure out like what happened to her. How did this happen? Whatever. Now, Tom had made some Facebook posts. It did rub a bunch of people wrong, and he started getting a ton of hate. I'm talking about a ton of hate to the point that he had to put his page on private. And Tanya started getting a bunch of hate as well. People were coming at her and accusing her of different things, and she had to put her pages on private too. So now it is under investigation. A lot of people are suspecting foul play with the husband. Obviously, there was foul play. I mean, she didn't walk naked and throw herself down there with no visible signs of anything. Something happened to her, okay? I'm not blaming the husband. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm going to do just like the mom did, because people have asked the mom, Stacy, online, do you think the husband was involved? And she was saying, I'm going to let the investigators do their job. I'm not jumping to any conclusions, which I think is very, very wise of her. She said she's talking to Tom every day. Okay, now I definitely have my opinions and my suspicions, like I'm sure we all do. There's also rumors that it could have been an OD. I don't know about that. I feel there's rumors that are going around online that certain things were found in her house. I'm not even going to repeat it because I have not seen that. Okay, that's actual. I've seen actual like forums where people were saying that, but I have not seen that article, so I don't know. Nevertheless, there's an autopsy being done, so we're going to find out. There are other things that I have seen and saw and have ideas of why people are not saying certain things, but I also don't want to say anything that's going to mess up this case. So I'm going to leave this story as this right now. What do you think? We will be following it. There is a GoFundMe for Alexis, and I will leave that linked down below. And they're trying to raise money, but that way the family can have plane tickets and hotel stays, because this is going to be a case. Okay, somebody is going to be arrested, hopefully soon. Where she was actually dumped at, there was a hair salon, so there was a camera. There's going to be a bunch of things, okay? Now, the husband is cooperating with police as far as he's saying. The friends are cooperating. Everybody are turning over information. Things we still don't know is, where is Alexis's clothes? She obviously didn't leave the house naked. Where's her cell phone? Nobody knows where her cell phone is right now. I mean, not publicly. Maybe they do in private. Why did the friend immediately jump to going to her house when she didn't answer, and sitting outside of her house? Why didn't the friend contact the husband? What did she know about the husband that immediately made her contact her mom, who lives in another state, versus her husband that lives in the same apartment as her? Okay. I don't know, you guys. What do you think? I want to send my condolences and my heart and my love to the family and friends, anybody that loved and cared about Alexis. This is so sad. As always, my loves, please do not forget to like this video. It's a free way that you can help your girl out. And until next time, I love you guys so very much. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye. Love you guys. Bye.